Good morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. Now, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Kevin suggested that I should write the date on here when we started. Well, yeah, we actually started yesterday. So yesterday was, okay, if today is November the 28th, yesterday had to be November the 27th. So I think I'll just write with a little Sharpie here, November 27th, 2023. And then when we get to the last step, I wonder what the last step is. You know what, this manual's a lot thicker than the other ones. That's scary. Okay, the last step would be step 69. And in step 69, it wants us to slide the painted, I guess, obviously, and partially assembled stern section up over top of a lot of detail that we're going to be making. You know, this is going to be kind of a fun build. I hope I'm able to do it justice. I think it'll go. If I just take it, you know, step by step and don't get too excited about it. Okay. Now, step 1. Oh, got a comment from a viewer. Says something to the effect of once the motorcycle comes, things are going to really slow down. So I assured him that we're probably going to have another 5 months of snow yet. So I'm going to be, you might say, housebound. So yeah, I don't think we'll have a problem getting well into this build before my new Honda Rebel comes. Oh, I got yesterday I also got a message from Anna at Bill's Cycle in Steinbach, and she sent me an update as to you know, the exact machine and everything that Honda says they're sending. The only thing that concerns me a little bit is that it indicates that it's a 2023 model, not a 2024. Now that's good and that's bad. I think the 24s are blue and the 23s are sort of a dark gray, which I kind of like better. I don't know. The blue would have been nice too, but I guess I was thinking in terms of a resale. You know, at 2024s, you think of it as being newer, even though mileage might be the same. Well, the mileage should be 0. Another thing that concerns me a little bit is, do the 2024s have what you might call firmware updates? There's a lot of electronics in that bike, so it could be that they've worked bugs out of it in the newer models. Now maybe it's exactly the same. I don't know. Anyway, that was I'm not saying it was disconcerting. It was just kind of interesting, because I was under the impression I'd be getting a 2024 model. But hey, it's still going to be great. It's still going to be great, and I'm really looking forward to it. So, yeah, Anna, thanks for sending that update. I hope you keep doing that. Okay, now enough about motorcycles. Let's recompose here a little bit. We're in step number 1, and we've got to get. It looks like, as I mentioned yesterday, all the pieces for step number 1 are on the Z sprue. Now, you Canadians are going to have to forgive me for saying Z. I automatically say Z. And the reason for that is because when I was a kid, in grades 4, 5, and 6, I went to school down in the States, in Omaha. And any of you who are in, if you happen to be in Omaha, I went to Saratoga School. Yeah, and it's still there, as far as I know. Yeah, that's the school I went to. That would be 1957, 58, 59. Yeah. Okay. Now we sure get off the subject easy, don't we? Let's recompose here and. Oh yeah, so like I started to say, that's why I have a tendency to automatically say Z because those were very informative years of my life. uh, Informative? Okay, let's recompose here. Okay, I think I'm rearranged here. Oh, by the way, I figured it out what I should have said. Not informative, just formative. Okay. Now, what did we say it was? November the 27th yesterday? Okay, let's see if I can do this nice and neat now here. That's not very neat. Okay, it is what it is. Can't change it. All right. Oh, it'll be interesting to see what we write. I'm gonna make a guess. It's gonna be over a year. I'm just guessing. All right. By the way, we have to make 12 of these torpedoes. So we're probably going to be using all the sprues. Well, maybe not. Oh yeah, that's right. We would, because there are 6 of these sprues. I was going to say that I was just noticing that each one of these torpedoes has a counter-rotating propeller, so they take 2. Okay. Yeah, I guess we'll just be. let's just make 1 on camera, and then I'm going to have to, I guess, make the other 11 later. And that would mean that the next episode will probably be short because it'll be taking me quite a while to get all these done. And I imagine that they should be painted now too. I'm not sure. Well, we got to get paint. I'm noticing that one of the viewers suggested the first thing he'd do in step 1 or something like that is throw out the painting reference color guide the Trumpeter said send along. That was funny. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I'm noticing that all of the colors are available in Mr. Hobby. Then I guess the next most common would be the Vallejo, and the Tamiya. There's quite a few missing. So for whatever reason, Tamiya isn't that popular with Trumpeter. It could be that Mr. Hobby is actually owned by Trumpeter. I don't know. That's usually the way it goes. Although I have heard a lot of good things about Mr. Hobby. So didn't Mr. Hobby used to be Testers, or is that somebody else? Anyway. All right, let's recompose here and nip off some parts. Yeah, make this kind of interesting. I'll just move in right here. Okay. Now I'm noticing that we have quite a bit of very delicate pipe work on this sprue. And I can see where I could accidentally catch that, slipping it in and out of the plastic bag. Or sack, as you might say wherever you live. Okay, now I don't want to be getting too close to the blades. We can always trim them off carefully later. Notice this one blade has a little bit of flashing on it right there. Okay, now don't get too close. All right. Now, I don't think I need to, excuse me, keep these separate in separate tins. For instance, these two here are called a number 38 and this is a 39, but I'll be able to tell because the rotation of the propeller of the blades would be different. And the idea is, of course, that you would take one like this. Well, this one here is, you can see that it's supposed to fit in like that so that the blades should be opposite to each other. Yeah, you can see they are. I can't pick them up with my fingers here, but you get the idea how it's supposed to go, like something like that. So one blade would turn this way, and the other blade would turn this way, and that would offset the torque. Otherwise, the torpedo would be rotating in the water instead of staying level. And I can quite well imagine that staying level would be extremely important for the guidance system. All right, let's get something else here. All right, now we need number 2 and number 10s. Now we're going to want to be careful here that when I'm nipping this off, I go very carefully. Don't want to put any stress on anything here. I didn't go all the way through there, did I? Okay, I'll just go a little further in on this one. You can see when I nip on it how I buckled this piece here. What I should be doing, just let me get this off here. Okay, we'll clean those up later. Now, okay, now for the number 10s. What I tried to do, maybe if I turn my nipper this way, I wonder if maybe it would be better if I was to, if I go at an angle like this, when you nip it off, it kind of, instead of pushing it together and squashing everything together, it kind of lifts it up a little bit. Maybe I'll do this one first. Okay, we can get rid of this. We don't need that piece. No, this one here. And if I held it at a bit of an angle, it has a tendency to lift on the part. Now, of course, it doesn't matter if it squashes out. Okay. Oh, come back here. Okay. All right. So what else do we need here? Okay, now for the, I guess you'd call it the main body of the torpedo, or the tube part of it. We need numbers 3 up here and numbers 11. So let's just once again cut well away from the part. That should give us enough pieces all together here now to make up a total of 2 torpedoes. Yeah, well, we need 12, don't we? Okay, I guess the next step would be to get the flashing off of these. Can't pick it up. Okay. There is no... Oh, I was just going to say there are no positioning pins, but actually there is. Yeah. The pin here goes into the hole here. All right. I can use one of Chris's files, or maybe a sanding stick might be better. Whoops. I think that was my first whoops in this build. One of many, to be sure. Okay, got a little bit of flashing on there. Try and get that off. All right, I think that's all I can do with the nipper on that one. One nice thing about most of these parts is that they are so big, comparatively speaking, that if I drop one on the floor, a piece on the floor, I'm going to undoubtedly be able to see it relatively easy. Okay, now I want to make sure I'm not going to be nipping up anything that we want to keep. Now, I will be carefully taking these down later with the... Now this one is very fragile. I could very easily break it off somewhere if I'm not careful what I'm doing here. Okay. Now I think this is supposed to go in something like this. I do believe that's the way it's supposed to go. It almost wants to fit there. I imagine the best time to try and assemble it is after we get the tubes ready. Now, as for the tubes, Now you'll notice we got this piece here that we've got to get rid of. And I'm thinking that maybe what I'm going to do is rather than nip it this way as well as this way, I think I'm going to only do it this way. And here's my thinking on this. If I take it off here, nice and close. Okay. Might have to just take Chris's file and just take that down just a little bit. And then this one here. Nice and flush. Okay, then we do the same with the mirror image of it. Okay. And this one. Okay, now here's my thinking on this. What if we take these pieces and we put them together now, and then after they are glued together, there. Okay, then after it is all glued together, then sand this down. At least, yeah, and there's less of a chance of me ending up with a divot. Now, in all likelihood, I think probably most of these torpedoes, we're not going to see very much of them. It seems to me I remember somebody commenting to that effect when I was watching this thing being built. Oh, way back before we even started this model ship series, I was considering this kit. And yeah, I think that like I started to say, we're not going to be able to see a lot of this anyway. But I guess best way to glue this would be to pinch it here. Yeah, pinch it on the ends, and it seems to, the way it's designed, it when it presses in the middle right there. Okay, where's my my extra thin here? I think we're pretty much ready to glue this together and let it dry. Well, I see if I can clean these up just a little bit. Okay, I'll recompose. Okay, let's try this again here. We're just doing a dry run. All right. Now, I wonder if I was to turn these up like this. Don't go falling apart here on me. Oh, they just come right off, don't they? That's right. Okay, now we're going to want to hold it like that. Yeah, that's working. And take this off. And we will hold this one like that. Okay. Now, do I need a third one in the middle? Or maybe just move this a little bit more this way? I think that possibly right here, where I nipped that sprue connection off, it's holding the seam apart. Yeah, the other side where there's no sprue connection, it's all right. Okay, I think that's going to work. Okay, so we want to remove just a tiny little bit right there, and we want to try and keep this flat, but I don't want to be filing down, making a little divot on this one, which I could easily do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of just rock it slightly this way so that 90% of the pressure is going to be right there. I want to keep this flat, otherwise it's just take the high parts off. That's all I need to do. It could be too that the Tamiya extra thin is going to soften this high part, and it's going to meld together. I love these files. These are so sharp, so sharp. Okay, now the other one. Do the same thing. Okay, it's right there. And this one here. Now, this, all being well, should fit together better. It's probably going to make a liar out of me. No, it looks good to me. Okay, now we'll see how we can best set up here to get our clamps on. I guess the idea would be to maybe just put a little bit of extra thin just along the edge. Or maybe I could use the quick setting, and yeah, maybe I could use the quick setting and hold it together. But the quick setting isn't as strong. I could try it on this one. If it doesn't seem to want to work, then I could do it use the extra thin on the remaining 11 pieces. At least that's the plan. Okay, now we want to remember this is plastic and these clamps are plastic, so we don't want to be getting a lot right around here and have it run over the sides, or I'm going to have a problem. Let's just see how is it going to wick in the crack here if I touch it down. My applicator doesn't seem to be cooperating here. I'm definitely getting it in the crack. I imagine you can't see it, but I can see it. Now right there the crack is kind of open. Is that maybe where I got a little bit careless with my file? Okay, I'm just going to turn it over and do the other side the same way. Okay, I'm guessing about an hour has passed here now. I don't think that's going to fall apart. Person could probably pry it apart, but why? Okay, now we just got to assemble all these little parts here. I think, where's the manual here? Let's just check this out here and see what are we supposed to be doing here now. Okay, right here it shows where the 38 and 39 go together. And as near as I can see, there's pretty much only one way they can go together. And that is that this little thing that I'm holding on to almost has to go in this hole. Now, I don't think it's supposed to go in the, yeah, it has to go in that hole. So let's just take a little bit of extra thin here. We won't use the quick setting. And if we look at the diagram, it appears that, there we go, it's locked in place now. It appears that the propellers of each unit are sort of lined up with each other the way I've got it. At least that's the way it looks to me right here. Okay, and also there's another diagram down here. I'll just move the manual. Just want to make sure that's pressed together. But you can see right here the blades of the propeller are lined up with each other. Now I don't know if that would make a difference when we try to put this together or not. Now on the back of the torpedo here, there is nothing that it would go into that hole. So would that mean that this is supposed to somehow go into that? It doesn't look like it. It looks like it's too big. Yeah, it looks like it's too big. Well, let's put this together. Okay, this would go like this. I'm sorry that I'm not really holding it so that you can see it. And maybe if I held it like this and let gravity be my friend. Let's try that. It might just sort of fall into place there. Yeah, that's sort of, yeah, that actually works. Now, are we going to be able to get the propeller in there, and which way should it go? See, there's a hole right there. So what would that hole be for? It's, whoops. I'm going to have to recompose here. Okay, I realize you're looking at the manual upside down, but I think you can see what's happening here. So a moment ago I put the stabilizing fins into the back of the torpedo here. But then when I tried to get this to go down inside, it just won't wiggle in. So if we look at this drawing, it looks like they want me to put the I need 3 hands here for this. Okay, so they want it to go on in this piece first somehow, and then slip Yeah, I think it's supposed to go something like this. I'm trying to hold it so that you can see what I'm doing here, and it's not really working. Well, there we go. That's working. Yeah, that's working. Okay, then this piece would go. I guess maybe it's supposed to spread slightly. No, very, very slightly. We don't want to break it. There's probably a more awkward way to do this if I tried. No, that's obviously not the way it's supposed to go. We gotta. There, we almost got it. Want to be careful not to break it now. We can rotate the propeller just about 45 degrees here. What's happening is the blades are jamming up on that fin. Oh, I see. It's almost impossible to get. Okay, now we pretty much got it here. Let's see if we can get this in place like that. But then we want to have the propeller shaft centered on the, there. It sort of went. There. It's pretty much, I think we pretty much got it here. I wonder, it could be that if I was to clamp this torpedo in something that would hold it vertically like this, then I could just sort of drop everything down on it. So maybe I'll just see if I can't do that on the next one. Okay, I think I basically got it here. Yeah, just let me see if I can figure out how to hold this so that it's like this. Okay, I think that's going to be all right. It's not being squeezed really tight or anything like that. And I can let gravity be my friend here. Just let me move in just a little bit. You can see here how the whole assembly can now be just dropped into place. At least that's the plan. Now I think it should be fairly easy to get everything all straightened out here. And then just want to make sure that the propeller shaft looks like it's lined up there with the torpedo tube, and it sort of does. Yeah, it sort of does. So I think what we can do here now is we can just use some extra thin here and just kind of get everything to sort of meld into place. It should just sort of wick into all the cracks. That's going to be more than enough, as long as I can get the fins. One fin on the back side doesn't look like it's in all the way. Let me sort of squeeze it here. Yeah, I guess, it's in, it just wasn't 100% straight. Yeah, just push it in here. And push down at the same time. Okay, I think we're about as good as we can get for the way this part is designed. I was thinking that they maybe could have designed it differently, but on the other hand, I don't know how they could have designed it differently. Okay, that should meld. Okay, I'm just sort of looking at it from all sides here. Yeah, I think that's going to be all right. I don't think there's any need to be putting any more extra thin in there, or it's going to start to dissolve the detail. So that's what I'm going to do basically with the other 11. And you know, the first one always takes a long time. So I think we're going to wrap it up for today, and then I'm just going to work at the rest of them off camera. Thanks for watching, everybody, and all being well, we're going to see, once again, the sunrise. I don't think there was a sunrise that we could see. Well, I'll go to the computer and I'll show you what there was. Yeah, that'll be next. Thanks for watching, everybody, and all being well, we're gonna see you tomorrow.